Once in every lifetime comes the opportunity to own a share of the outdoors at a price you can afford. During the next few minutes, you will be introduced to Morgan's Point, a development of lake homes on Lake Belton near Temple, Texas, as Great Western Investment Corporation presents the Morgan's Point Resort City Story. There is no prettier lake in Texas than Lake Belton. It's a recreational area formed by the Leon River as it flows through deep valleys and steep limestone hills of the central Texas hill country. It's one of the deepest lakes in the state, over 160 feet deep in some places. The height of the water is easily controlled by the U.S. Corps of Engineers and stays at a constant level all year round. Morgan's Point is a large multi-million-dollar development on the most varied and thus the most interesting part of the shoreline. Before we show you any more about Morgan's Point, let's talk a minute about land. With every passing day there are more people, but there is no more land. As you look around you, you'll see what used to be open land, now being used for home sites and urban development. Texas is growing much faster than the rest of the United States. That means that Texas land is being used up at a faster rate, especially the choice land in recreational areas like Morgan's Point. Location is the key to real estate values. Lake Belton is in the center of the most populated area in the Southwest. It lies in the heart of Texas, only 2.5 hours by highway from Dallas and Fort Worth, minutes from Waco and Austin, and just 8 miles from the thriving communities of Temple and Belton. We'll come back to our discussion of land as an investment, but I know you want to see what Morgan's Point really looks like, why so many people have chosen to buy a lot and build their vacation homes here. Let's ask Mr. Woodward Martin. He's a retired official of a large oil company in Amarillo. We asked Mr. Martin why he selected Morgan's Point for his retirement home.
We considered this a good location, being in the center of the most populated area in Texas and convenient to all of the population centers.
And Mr. Martin, like many others, finds the lake truly attractive.
Oh, it's beautiful water. That's what sold us on it, was this limestone country and the clear, beautiful water. Of course, there's so many things to do around here. Not only fishing, but hunting and golf courses right here at hand, and many other activities.
Mr. Martin is right. There is good hunting during deer season, and fishing in Lake Belton is nearly always good.
This clubhouse here is a nice contribution to a family's pleasure. Swimming pool, and playground for the little fellas.
When Mr. Martin builds his retirement home, he may live on a paved street like this, in a home like one of these. Perhaps you would like to own one of the lots near the lake, where you can watch the sailboats glide silently by. Or you may have a boat of your own to discover new coves and inlets around the vast shoreline of Lake Belton. When you buy your future home site at Morgan's Point, you'll want to visit Lake Belton and take a discovery ride on the motor launch. You'll see many other people of all ages enjoying themselves in some form of aquatic activity. You might even see some of the Colonel Smith family, for they love the lake.
We looked all over the country before we settled here.
Mrs. Smith tells why, as the family of a retired Army colonel, they settled at Morgan's Point.
Because of the Army and our privileges and a lot, and then we love this lake. We still have all of our privileges, Manicom, Commissary, PX.
Fort Hood is one of the largest permanent military establishments in the country, with all of the facilities available to a retired military family close at hand. Stephanie was asked what she liked best about living at Morgan's Point.
Everything. There's just so much to do out here. There's never a dull moment. We just ride all over the countryside. It's just beautiful for anything like that.
Stephanie's brother Dan likes it here too.
During the winter, I do a lot of rabbit hunting and fox hunting.
Dan compares living at Morgan's Point with city living.
It's a lot better because you're a lot freer, and it's you're a lot more tied down in the town, and it's just a lot more fun out here.
It's so different living in a city than it is here. I just don't think I'd ever want to go back to a city. It's one thing, it's so much quieter at night and all. It's just beautiful.
But there are some advantages of being near to a city. Here is the high school attended by Dan and Stephanie, only minutes away from their lakeshore home at Morgan's Point. And shopping is easy at either downtown Temple or in one of the new ultra-modern shopping centers. You may attend the church of your choice in either Temple or Belton, or at one of the smaller nearby communities. And in the event of illness, world-famous Scott and White Clinic is located on the south side of Temple, 8 miles away. Mr. L.C. Burdett was a chief warrant officer in the Army before he and Mrs. Burdett retired to their home at Morgan's Point.
We've been coast to coast in the Army, and everywhere we've been the last several years, we've looked at the prospects for a retirement home. We found this place, and it suited all of our needs of what we thought we wanted for a retirement home.
Mr. Burdett was asked what he liked best about Morgan's Point.
Well, I think it's the quietness, the informality of living here, the lake we have, the entertainment facilities we have. I don't know, I couldn't pin down just one thing. We just like it overall, and the people here.
That's what you'll like about Morgan's Point, too. It's the ideal spot for a vacation retreat of your own. The informality of a barbecue, where kids and grown-ups alike can enjoy chuck wagon chow and each other's company, where you can put on Western wear and stomp your feet to a Paul Jones or a square dance. There are 2 reasons why you may want to reserve a home site now at Morgan's Point. First, as an investment. Land values have always gone up. Money in the bank is not a real hedge against inflation or complete preparation for your retirement years. Stocks and bonds require constant experienced counsel to provide protection for your old age. Insurance is good, but it also is subject to inflated dollars. Real estate is the basis of all wealth because it's permanent, indestructible, and always marketable. And the second reason for buying at Morgan's Point, the opportunity to enjoy a vacation resort home of your own, to discover a new world of happy, carefree living. Surveys have shown us that 95% of all people won't be able to take care of themselves without financial help at age 65. That means they won't be able to move to a vacation home at the lake. They won't be able to enjoy the retirement cottage they have always dreamed of. Will one of those couples be you? You can reserve your vacation retreat and retirement home site right now with the most liberal terms in the United States. Terms you can afford, easy monthly payments, a warranty deed, and guaranteed title. No taxes until your undeveloped lot is fully paid for. Low interest, and a life of your contract exchange privilege, which your counselor will be happy to explain to you. When you reserve your lot at Morgan's Point, you are sure of 3 things. You are ending the time-consuming search for a retirement home. You can begin to enjoy a vacation home of your own right now. 2, you are buying peace of mind. You are setting aside a given sum of money to work for you. And 3, you will never be able to buy the same piece of property for less money. So sure are the developers of Morgan's Point, the Great Western Investment Corporation, of the value of their property to you and the wisdom of your decision to buy, they are making this offer. Let your advisor, who is showing you this film, show you what lots are still available. Make your choice and reserve it today. You have 60 days to inspect your vacation and retirement home site on a money-back guarantee. Isn't it wise to prepare for your future today? After all, that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life, and think of the fun you can have at your vacation home right now. Your Great Western Investment Corporation advisor is ready to help you make your decision now.